Hello, good morning, children. Today we are going to start with our new chapter in grade 10, that is in geography. We will start with agriculture today. Yeah. So, the first and the foremost thing we need to understand what is in agriculture. Yeah. So, agriculture is growing of crop, everybody know. But before we deeply understand the concept of agriculture related to India and how agriculture is taken up in India in different forms, let us just go back to a little bit history of agriculture in India. Yeah, India is an agriculturally important country. Two-thirds of its population is engaged in agriculture activities. So out of our total population today at present also two-thirds of the population, yeah, so the majority chunk is uh, engaged in agriculture. Agriculture is a primary activity which produces most of the food that we consume. So we can say it is a primary activity which produces most of the food we consume. Yeah. Besides food grain, it also provides raw material for various industries. Yeah, definitely we can say, because we use many products which are grown through agriculture and they are used as a raw material in different industries. Later on in this chapter, we will be focusing on this topic as well. Now, let us start the first subtopic of this chapter. See, if you look at this chapter, is mainly divided into three parts. First is type of agriculture. Yeah. Then pattern, or you can seasons of agriculture. Then we have major crops which we are producing and how it is generating our economy and how we are doing export through this, what products are produced. Yeah, so all these things. So major three aspects of this chapter are there: types of agriculture, seasons or patterns of agriculture. Then we have the third one is major crops which are grown here. Yeah, so we'll start today with types of agriculture. In that, basically the agriculture is divided into two types. One is subsistence and another one is commercial. Commercial word is very common to you. It means totally money oriented, profit oriented and targeted as a business. Yeah, so that is commercial type of agriculture. Then subsistence agriculture is something, this subsistence agriculture is something which is related to your personal growing. Yeah, there how first the foremost thing here is to satisfy the needs. Then we have over here is a little bit more in this is that they cultivate more, but the target is not like a commercial farming. The focus is not only on profit earning. Yeah, so we'll just try to understand subsistence and commercial farming. Types of farming. Agriculture is an age-old economic activity in our country. Over these years, cultivation methods have changed significantly depending upon the characteristics of, see, we know from the civilization period we started cultivation, agriculture. Over a period of these many centuries, it has changed. Yeah, the technology has changed. Now, on what basis the pattern of agriculture has changed? First is physical environment. Yes, day by day the physical environment. Earlier we don't have proper land, yeah, and water supply, irrigation facilities. Then technology, use of latest machineries, seeds, fertilizers, packing process, yeah, and socio-culture practices. People living in the society, so how do they deal with like helping in the society with each other, combining the land and growing it. Farming varies from subsistence to commercial type. At present, in different parts of India, the following farming systems are practiced. We'll start with primitive farming. That is one part of subsistence farming. That is one part of subsistence farming. Primitive farming. That is one point. That is primitive farming. Now, let us understand what is it. First word primitive itself shows you of a stone age or the old methods, yeah, historical methods of farming. Yes, is it clear? The primitive itself shows you a very old method of farming. This type of farming is still practiced in few pockets of India, so only few areas. So I can just write it, few areas. Okay, this type of primitive subsistence agriculture is practiced on small patches of land with the help of primitive tools. So I can say small land, primitive tools. We have primitive tools like hoe, dao and digging sticks, and family and community labors. And I can write family members and community labors, means which are easily available nearby you. Community labors. So these are few things you can define. Primitive farming means it is done on a small patch of land with primitive tools such as hoe, dao and digging sticks, as well as family members and community laborers are involved in the process. This type of farming depends upon monsoon, natural fertility of the soil and sustainability of other environmental conditions to the crop. So, natural process, completely natural process means depending on monsoon rains, natural fertility of the soil. Yeah. Now, it is a slash and burn agriculture. Now, the another name for this is slash and burn agriculture. Slash means to cut and creating, burn means to destroy. Yeah. So this type of slash and burn, the name is given because in primitive time the nomadic people used to clear a patch of land by cutting on keeping and burning the grass or the wild plants which were grown there to make the land clear for agriculture. Yeah. So they do it. So that is another name is given, slash and burn agriculture. Farmer clears a patch of land and produce cereals and other food crops to sustain their family. So the nomadic people usually follow this. वो क्या करते थे, जंगल में एक एरिया में जाते थे, काटा वहीं जला दिया, because these plants when they are burned, the ashes are used as a help in the fertility of the soil. They start the process of primitive agriculture over there. They grow the grains, the cereals and other items which can provide food to their families. Yeah. When the soil fertility decreases, the farmers shift and clear a fresh patch of land for cultivation. They keep on shifting. So another name is shifting agriculture. You can also do because they keep on shifting from place to place. So after 3, 4, 5 years, if you don't add up to the soil, the natural fertility of the soil will be lost because every year you keep on growing it and it takes years and years to develop the natural fertility of the soil. This type of shifting allows nature to replenish the fertility of the soil through natural processes. Okay, this is good because allow the nature to replenish the fertility of the soil. So it allows. So see, it's like at a one patch of land, you keep on doing agriculture for 4-5 years. The fertility is gone. Then what will happen? You will shift to some other place. You will start agriculture over there, farming over there. So the earlier piece of land, it will start again through a natural process and it will gain its fertility again. So it's not that the fertility is completely lost forever. It is a good process. Land productivity in this type of agriculture is low as the farmer does not use fertilizers or other modern inputs. It is known by different names to different parts of the country. In our country only, these type of agricultures are known with different names. For example, it is zooming in northeast states like Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Pamlu in Manipur, Dipu in Bastar district of Chhattisgarh and Andaman Nicobar Islands. So another names are given for the native for the convenience of the people. Now what is zooming? Zooming. The slash and burn agriculture is also known as milpa in Mexico, in Central America, Kuknu in Venezuela, Roca in Brazil, Masol in Central Africa, Landeng in Indonesia, Ray in Vietnam. So these are the different names, and children, please remember this name because most of the time these names are asked in MCQs or filling the blanks. Okay, so make sure you just keep in mind these names. If you are sitting with your book, just underline this different names. In India, this primitive form of cultivation is called Bevar or Dhania in Madhya Pradesh, Podu or Penda in Andhra Pradesh, Pamda Dabi or Koman or Bringra in Odisha, Kumari in Western Ghats, Valre or Voltre in southeastern Rajasthan, Khil in the Himalayan belt, Khuruva in Jharkhand, and Zooming in northeast states. So these are few names you need to remember. Okay. So here we come up, just revise it. Primitive farming, few areas of small land, primitive tools, community labors, natural process, slash and burn agriculture allow the nature to replenish the fertility over a period of time. Okay. Now, second form over here is, we can say, intensive. The word itself gives you intensive farming. Very intense, integrated into, yeah. The words itself give you very integrated into, very deep, very hardworking, yeah, intensified, yeah. This type of farming is practiced in the areas of high population pressure on land. So one thing, because intensive farming is mostly targeted to grow more. So it is done in the areas of high population. It is done in the areas of high population, mostly in the plains or the areas which are densely populated, so that we are able to provide more food for them. Okay. It is a labor intensive farming where high doses of biochemical inputs and irrigations are used for obtaining higher products. Labor intensive, so too much of labor is required. Intensive, too much of labor is required so that maximum production can be increased. Another one is they use biochemicals and irrigation facilities. Use biochemical and irrigation facilities so that there is no interruption in the production process here, and they can get maximum out of it. Though the right of inheritance leading to the division of land among the successive generations had rendered land holding size uneconomically, the farmers continue to take maximum output from their limited land in absence of alternative source of livelihood. Thus, there is an enormous pressure on agricultural land. See, from our historic age, we have studied about from the monarchy, from the Mughal period, or there were landowners and there were farmers, two categories in India. So the owners were always having a huge amount of land and farmers were having less. So this type of farming is helping to the farmers which are having less land, so that they can produce maximum out of this. So once they can satisfy their needs, and rest of the products can be sold into the market for earning purposes. Yeah, but maybe the target is not too much, but at least it is sustainable enough. उतना कमा लेंगे कि survive कर सके. They won't be richer, but they can survive it. Okay, so they can survive it. Now, the next topic is our commercial farming. The next topic for this hour is commercial farming. So before we move on to commercial farming, I would just like to revise everything over here. So if I want to go through it, subsistence farming is divided into two parts: primitive farming and intensive farming. Primitive farming is done basically on the old methods of farming and completely natural process. Small land, primitive tools, and family members or the community laborers are there. Another name for this is slash and burn farming. agriculture, people keep on moving, especially it started with the nomadic, and nowadays also the tribal people in the jungle are using this type of farming. Then it allows the nature to replenish this fertility, because they keep on changing the agriculture or the farming plot after a period of time. So naturally it keeps on replenishing. Then another form is intensive farming, which itself make it clear that the farming process is intensified with the increase of production. This is mostly practiced in the areas where there is a high population and you need enough food grains to satisfy the requirement of the people. It is a labor intensive, more labor is required. They use biochemicals in the form of fertilizers, pesticides and all that, and irrigation facilities, so that the water supply or the resources of water cannot limit the production of this. So these are two forms of agriculture, primitive and intensive. Here primitive is again divided into slash and burn, that is done by nomadic people, and this one. Okay, so here we cover up our first topic, then we'll move on to next.